Hi everyone, it's Tonya, and today I want to share with you a super simple mixed media masculine card tutorial. I'm going to use some Gelli plate prints that I have had in my stash for the last couple of weeks. They're starting to pile up. So in this one, I would just want to show you the pattern real quick. I created it with this Gelli print. This is the 3x5 Gelli plate, and these colors, just standard acrylic paint. This black paint I just put into a different type bottle. And I will go over some of these in our next Ustream on December the 1st. So I didn't show you how to create these because I feel like everybody has stacks of these in their stash. So pull them out, cut them down to card size, and let's start building out some cards with these as backgrounds. So I've selected my panel. This is cut already to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 size. I'm going to distress up this edge here with the Prima Distress tool. You can't have a completely messy background and a sharp, pristine edges. So I'm taking this wood veneer piece that I got from Recollections. It's a Polaroid, and I'm going to use some of this orange paint that I used on my print so that it matches. I'm just going to paint up half of this frame with the orange, and then I'm going to come back with the turquoise and paint the other half of the frame. I love these colors. They're so masculine, but they're very clean, and I really love this color combo a lot. So it's going to make a really fun card. And again, just being really careful to get those edges really nice and sharp. Now, the paint that is left over on my desk, I'm going to take the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Whip Spackle. I'm going to add it to my paint there. I'm just going to color it up using that paint that's left over on my palette. You want to mix it really well, get all of the pigment mixed into the spackle. It's going to have a little lighter tone than what's on the Gelli print because I'm mixing it with the white spackle. Now I'm using the honeycomb stencil from Heidi Swapp. This is the 6x6 size, and I'm just going to use this whip spackle and this stencil to, one, give a little bit of depth and dimension to my card panel, but it's also going to help to neutralize some of the busyness that's going on in the background and offer a really nice place for my focal point to sit. Now I've dried that really well with my heat tool, and I'm going to take this Polaroid using some hot glue and just attach it to my card front. And I realized I had it just a little too centered, so you're going to see me pull it up in a few minutes and move it over just a little tiny bit. The stack that you see there on the right, I just went through some of my embellishments and pulled them out. The little clocks that you see are wood veneer pieces that I created using the balsa wood circles, and then I just stained them with some of the Tim Holtz Distress ink and stamped them with archival ink with random clock faces that I have in my stash. I really love to do this as nice little ephemera pieces. I'm going to just add that clock there in the center. The wood flag that you see is a Prima piece, and it says Celebrate on it. It came from some of their wood veneer collections from a year or two ago. These are just some little metal washers that came from 7 Gypsies, and I'm working those in there as well. So basically the front of my card is going to have images that reflect time to celebrate. That's kind of what I'm building out here. I'm using my frame to sort of frame out my clusters. All of these items are super easy to make on your own. I have another video that shows how to make the wood veneer pieces. And other ideas, puzzle pieces would be cute on here. Some of the Tim Holtz gears would be good on here as well. Just go through your stash and look for metal and wood. Those make great masculine options. So for the center inside of my card, I'm going to give all of that a chance to dry and set it to the side. I had a piece of the scrap watercolor paper in my stash, and this is from the Fiskars collection. This is the Hexagon Sentiment stamp set, and I'm going to pull out the Heidi Swapp Coral ink. This coral ink is a really nice ink. It dries permanent, and I'm going to use it to color up the inside of my card. Now, since this was watercolor paper, I wanted to see how the ink was going to react with the paper. So I stamped it a couple of times to see which one I would like the best, and I think I want the second generation stamp. So I'm going to stamp on the front of the card, and then I'm going to flip it over and stamp on the back to get the second generation. Since this is going to be the inside of my card, I'm doing this so that it's lightweight enough to where I can write over the top if I need to. Now I'm going to take that ink and just distress up the edges of my card panel that goes on the front. I like how this color sort of looks a little rusty. It matches the orange that's in the paint color from the Gelli print. You know, again, it just kind of reinforces all of that. Darkening up your edges will help your eye to settle back towards the center. It gives sort of a boundary to your project. Now it's time to glue down my panel. I'm going to glue it to the inside of my card. I'm using a very liberal amount of this Tombow mono adhesive because it is watercolor paper, and so it's a little heavier. I'm also an over adhesive adder, however you want to call that. But anyway, I've added that to the inside, and then I found this stamp on the set that says "Time to Celebrate." So I'm going to add that to the inside of my card, and it reinforces everything that's going on the front, and the hexagon stamps sort of mimic the patterns that you see on the front as well. So again, I'm going to add a very liberal amount of this glue here on the front. With all of that metal and wood, this piece is very heavy. I don't recommend this if you plan to mail the card. While it is flat, it will be very heavy. But you could substitute out the wood veneer in the gears for maybe stamped images on cardstock that were colored and added on, and then that would make everything a little lightweight. Always use your die cuts. You could use your die cuts to make the wood frame, or instead of using the wood frame, you could also use die cuts. Now I'm just going to tear a corner to expose some of that black from underneath, and do it on the other side on a diagonal as well. By doing this on a diagonal, it's going to draw your eye back to the center where your cluster is, and it just adds a little interest also. Now I'm going to use my stamping block as a little blotter area, and add a little bit of black craft ink or craft paint to my stamping block. I used alcohol to dilute it down. This will help it dry a little faster. It also was the one bottle that was sitting there that I could grab. There really wasn't a reason for doing that. Now I'm just going to take my paintbrush and add a few splatters here and there. That's going to bring the black back up to the top as well, and nothing's really finished without a few ink splatters, right? And ink splatters are perfectly masculine. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope I've given you an idea for some masculine cards. Here's some close-up photos of my clusters and my Gelli prints. Also, I just wanted to remind you that there will be a supply list linked to a blog post down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. And here's my final card. It's gorgeous. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and a comment, and be sure to share this with a friend. I also want to remind you that I am going to do a Gelli plate tutorial Monday, December the 1st, live on Ustream, so I hope you can join us. I will have a link down below to that Ustream also. So thanks again, guys.